talk about it.
Oh, so standard. I mean, I don't even know. I spent a lot of time casting this weekend over for the Game Show League. Shadow Shaman, people were not really picking him up oh so often. He actually made it through quite a few drafts, neither picked nor banned, but here he comes out second pick after the Razor. So, not a combo in of itself, but early push at level 6 with the Shadow Shaman, Razor with an Ags later on, your towers. You gotta watch out. And then flip side, we'll go with the Brewmaster. They've banned out the
Dyer's
Death
banned.
Prophet and the Doom. They left in the Skywrath, and it wasn't picked up, and now it's banned out. So Brewmaster looking to have
Radiant's
himself a pretty
banned.
good game, being able to get off the collapse and the primal splits.
Yeah, but you mentioned Shadow Shaman not getting picked up a lot, and that's actually really surprising, to say the least.
Yeah,
I mean,
they really
Dyer's
like
banned.
Bat in the Russian and CIS scene,
I
so
guess
Bat
I'm
Rider
not
took his place.
surprised too much because of that. Like, Batrider is an incredible hero, and, it's kind of weird how much he fell off with those nerfs that, I wouldn't exactly call game-breaking or hero-breaking nerfs.
10
It just
seconds to go.
adjusts his early game, and, really, you can do just
5
as well
seconds.
without that, what was it, the base attack damage nerf, as well as the inability to jungle as fast, but
Reserve time.
you can, yeah, you can do that pretty well even without
And the
all that.
napalm damage.
Yeah, and the napalm damage. There we go. So, I mean, he's
The
not a
bigger one.
bad hero nowadays, and I'm surprised he hasn't been picked up all that often. But it looks like the action-packed Russian Dodo is bringing it back into the scene.
Oh, most definitely. You can tell, like, with the lasso range being, pretty minimized, occasionally the Bat Rider would jump in, nothing would
Radiant's
really happen,
banned.
but I don't know. It's a fun hero to watch, lots of fire, lots of danger in the team fight.
Yeah.
Some frames are definitely lost when you have the Bat Rider and a Death Prophet and a, not quite techies, but a Tinker in your team fight.
Speaking of
I love
techies, we
streaming
are
that.
on the eve of
Dyer's
techies.
pick.
Got anything you want to say about that?
No.
No comments.
I'm looking forward to Pit Lord and Pit Lord only.
What? Not
Radiant
an
Now, also
Arc
Wyvern
Warden?
is gonna be sick. Arc Warden is like the most cancerous cancer of all, but at least it's fairly difficult. But for this game, some more green picks and some standard ones. Tide Hunter, definitely banned and picked a lot these days. It will be on the Radiant side here, which is still fine. The access to the Ancients is a little minimized, but he can come back from later. And then Viper for flip side, that farming mech carrier, and it looks
seconds
like
to
it'll have to
go.
go safe lane, or maybe just match up against the Razor.
Yeah, a couple of interesting
5
bans coming
seconds.
out so far, though. No Earthspirit, they opt for the Silencer ban, and, that's really telling you about the tide of the
Reserve
hero. I
time.
mean, Silencer used to, never get even thought about, but
Dyer's
I
pick.
saw a fan of Soyon play him a couple of times, and, he really brought my respect back for this hero, and now, with this lamp that they're drafting, the Tide Hunter especially, they don't want to have to deal with that Silencer out there anymore, so they take him out.
Would have been a good
Skyrath-
pick for both teams.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm actually really surprised that No Earthspirit didn't actually go for it, because as I said, Fan of Soyon is absolutely monstrous on this hero. But
10 seconds to
they don't
go.
want to run it, they don't want to deal with it, so they take it out, and I can respect that
5
decision.
seconds.
But Viper gets picked up, as you mentioned, the green picks, and Flipside Tactics are looking for their fourth after
Reserve
they take out
time.
the Centaur War Runner and the Skywrath Maiden. Skywrath, kind of surprising that he went from first pick, first ban, and now he's second pick, second ban, if not, doesn't show up at all in drafts. But again, ebb and flow of heroes so far in the meta, and I think Skywrath sees the most hate when it comes to the meta, but also can be forgotten about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's going to be always a thought when you pick up something like a Brewmaster.
Yeah.
Not so much Tidehunter, because he's generally going to crack in no matter what happens. So basically, you got to take the Doom out if you're going to go for the Tide. With the Silencer ban, I feel like no Earthspirit wants some more Wombo in this. Do you think that maybe they go for an Enigma? And before you answer, we already know what Flipside's last hero is going to be. It's going to be a Troll Warlord. So
Is it?
what's the fourth is the question.
Ancient Apparition?
It could be, yeah, I suppose. Stops the push a little bit, but it doesn't deal with the Serpent Wards
Well, I
really
always say
at all.
that because, well, actually, it does do fairly well versus the Serpent Wards. I mean, all ranged
Ranged.
heroes do well versus the Serpent Wards. I mean, I had played Lena the
Jockey
couple of
roll.
times. Oh, okay, we probably should have guessed.
Jakiro
Radiant's
Troll,
banned.
hands down. They won
Jakiro
towers.
Troll. But I know a lot of heroes that actually can go well against the Serpent Wards just because they're ranged heroes. But
Sniper.
Sniper and Lena. Lena is literally
Yeah, they're both
Sniper.
really good.
10
But-
And
seconds
Techies
to
if he
go.
had any damage.
Maybe
He's
like
700 range.
5
you
seconds.
could start building damage on him into the mid game. I mean, that 700 range has got to be good for something. What is his auto
Reserve
attack
time.
speed like? Awful.
No, it's just his base damage is like 30.
You can come back from that one.
It's
Maybe
down there.
build a rapier. You'll be fine.
Exactly, Rapier Stecky. That's what we're preaching here on Play CEVO-1.
But the Jakiro pickup, you mentioned how they want all the towers, and Jakiro is pretty much your go-to hero for that one nowadays, with
Dyer's
Batrider being
banned.
banned out. You know what?
They've
I
not
gotta
done the
say,
research.
are you sure they're gonna go troll? Because
Yes.
I don't know. Do they really want to go troll versus no Earthspirit? I mean, troll's a man fight hero, and with Tidehunter's damage reduction, with Razor's
10
damage
seconds to
reduction,
go.
with all of the crowd control and stun they have, do they really want to go for that?
5 seconds.
Yeah, it can definitely be pretty annoying, but it's sort of like the Lycan Howl. I mean, just the battle trance
Reserve
being
time.
global on a 30-second cooldown, which I think is actually even less than what Howl is. It's really strong, and who's it? Shredder plays it pretty
10
much every game.
seconds
We
to
haven't.
go.
I don't know why you're in disbelief. I haven't seen a game. We haven't cast a game of
Radiant's
Flipside where they
pick.
haven't picked Troll. The Visage comes out, which is
That's your favorite
Dyer's
hero.
intriguing. It is. It is. It caused me a lot of pain today. It was on another team, and we got whooped. But
I mean, the Visage in this lineup, I can't say exactly where he fits in. I mean, he's just a general good all around.
will really help
support.
Viper.
It really helped Viper.
If Viper lives in a team fight, Visage, no, I was talking about Troll still.
Oh.
If Viper
10
is alive in a
seconds
team
to
fight
go.
and Battle Trance goes off, well, I mean, Viper has a mech. He
Can't
doesn't
stop
have much
going
attack.
on about that
early.
troll warlord, can you?
Dude, it's gonna be Troll.
It's gonna be troll. Okay.
They
Well,
only have 10 seconds.
Reserve
We'll see.
time.
Visage kind of owns it though. You're right. That burst damage and also the
5
lockdown
seconds.
they already have.
Profit.
Oh, go Nature's Profit.
all right, guys, you heard
The
it here
pushing mindset.
first.
Still
Helium
alive.
should never bet at all in his life.
I mean, the odds were good. Every game I've covered with Flipside, they've had a Troll. So
Odds are never with you, dude. They're never with
that's
you.
true.
All right, so we're going into the game. We got a nice 2-game series. I forgot to mention, not forgot to mention. It really had no point in mentioning it during the draft. We are joined by a
Places,
statsman
everyone.
this game. That's going to be Tifridge Master, and he will be dropping the facts and knowledge throughout the game, as AEZ says, dropping the knowledge bombs. And we'll look forward to all those bits of information coming out as we go ahead and introduce the teams. It's going to be for Flipside NA. Shibby will be on the Brewmaster. Back at the Fountain, it's going to be Jenkins on the Nature's Prophet. Sunken on the Earthshaker.
The
Nusham
Golden Immortal.
with the the Jakiro. And we got Viper being picked up by Shredder and a Golden Immortal on the map, as you say.
Yeah, man, that thing's gonna look awesome.
Oh, the
yeah,
Fisher?
on the side. Yeah, the Fisher. On the side of no Earthspirit, I'm calling him Ban Earth. I'm converting right now. The Ban Earth here, we've got Goody here leading the way on the Tidehunter. It's going to be a one-roll Tidehunter, by the way, if they haven't changed up their positions.
30 seconds
And
to
there's the
go.
Jaded Golden Totem going down. Nice Treant to go ahead and intercept the arrow, but they're still going to be chasing. The Gush went out. Now, a little bit of mana there for the Razor, and that'll be played by Alex. We got Ahart on the Shadow Shaman. Glacius playing that Visage, and CSO already pretty chatty in that all chat. He's going to be on the Marana.
I have not been paying attention to the all chat. Can you fill me in?
Well, I don't know what he even said. It was Spanish,
Oh.
but he's talking.
All right.
And away we
Anyway,
go.
so some nice wording coming out here. Both have the same general
Something
idea.
about food.
Something about food. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, some general coverage wards going on. Still no rune ward for Radiant. In fact, they don't have a rune ward at the moment, so they're going to be guessing up runes and having their supports check that one out for the time being. Dire, though, they're on top of it. They got a nice vision of the illusion rune up top, and they're going to be going off of that one. And looking at the mid lane, it's going to be a Tidehunter versus a Brewmaster. Now, I personally played the Tide versus Brew matchup before, and you know what? It feels like one of the most neutral matchups I think I can imagine for this mid against a Brewmaster, who normally is thought of as a lane winner. I mean, Tide is going to do fairly well against this, but he certainly can't win this one.
Yeah, I mean, you're always in a bad place when you're a melee against a Tidehunter. But, I mean, you've got the crit built in. You're not going to be taking too much damage from Tide. He's not really going to attack you anyways. Just got to dodge those Anchor Smash, which isn't too hard. And he's got the Thunderclap to go ahead and get the last hits later on. So yeah, it'll be pretty even, but they're both going to get a lot of farm, and it's sort of it's in the mid lane, but it is going to be a one-position Tidehunter, just based on the way that Goody generally plays his heroes. That means Alex on the Razor, 1, 2. The roles get a little bit blurry in this scenario, but Razor and Shadow Shaman in this bottom lane against the Prophet. Prophet boots first, getting pulled some tangos actually with the Ring of Protection. So honestly, he's not really in too much danger unless they put 3 heroes on him. Then obviously he'll just melt with Glacius around. Once Glacius hits level 2, the Soul Assumption's online, but up top some action. This is a nice block.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead, keep CSO from running away. No leap available for him as he just gets taken down by Shredder, shredding through his HP pool. And that's going to be first blood going the way of Flipside NA. Not a bad way to start off this game.
Now Jenkins in a bit of trouble
back at the
without
bottom.
any mana.
They do get the long range shackle off on him. That is a very long range, but with those boots, he could be fine. Do they have a Soul Assumption to go out? 3 seconds. That's a Grave Chill, actually. So they are not killing him. No, they will get the Grave Chill. Very long range, and Glacius should be able to chase this one down. No, actually, Jenkins with the boots. He's going to turn around and get a couple of cheeky auto attacks on the A-Heart. Going to continue chasing, actually. An Ether Shock to fly out immediately turns him around, and he's just going to go right on back to the fountain. He stays alive. Not too bad. Giving some free farm to Alex, but he couldn't have done anything if he was in the lane. So they are doing just fine so far. Flipside Tactics not in too bad of a position after not losing their Nature's Prophet and grabbing first blood.
Alright, so the stats come up. Should be 5 games, 5 wins here on the Brewmaster, and somehow, I don't even know how he managed to do it. He picked up the Brewmaster, and obviously a lot of the bans targeted them. Doom, Death Prophet, and Skywrath. None of them in the game, which means Shibi's going to have a pretty good time. Also, no Orchid rushing heroes. So he's definitely going to have a great time. I mean, all this weekend I was covering a lot of Dota, and they were always stacking the silences, and I saw Brewmaster pretty much fail after fail after fail, winning a couple games, and actually Brewmaster was prioritizing a Midas in a lot of those games.
That's interesting. I mean, I guess it helps you get those levels up faster, get to your level 16 faster,
Yeah,
but
the
really
way
when
I
you're
thought
talking
about
about Brewmaster, I mean, 1 or 2 items makes the hero. You don't really need to have that 6 slot that the Midas kind of puts you towards in that mid to late game.
Yeah, the way I kind of thought about it was, we always talk about the range of Brewmaster, right? Like, when does he get started and when does he fall off? And I think the Midas kind of extends both of the endpoints on that range, right? Like, you get started earlier and you'll fall off later because you're getting those bigger items out. Yeah. And I would say that it definitely went that way for them. Like, you delay your blink a bit, but once you get the Midas up, you get the blink, and then quickly after that, you can go into the Ag's Refresher, which we saw quite a bit. Vlad's an AC, also pretty popular on that hero right now. The Earth Panda after the split will keep the Aura as well.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. So,
Radiant's
I don't know.
top
Going into
tower's
this
hurting.
game with the Brewmaster, as you mentioned, they didn't really stack up their silences as well. Do you think he's going to have a little bit of an easier time then going into the
Most
game?
definitely.
All right, well, that is actually a
Radiant's
really good
top
question.
tower's
Yeah,
in bad
definitely.
shape.
So, I don't know. I think
Radiant's
I'm
gone
trying
for
to hear
Someone out there
opinions.
might not have had an idea about it.
Maybe.
Push coming up top, though.
Radiant's
Which
top
is a key
tower's
role.
hurting.
Yeah, we got the rotation in going in from the Nature's Prophet. It's going to be Jenkins coming in, but in comes Fan of Soya. Maybe bit off a little more than he could chew, getting blocked up by the Trias. He just walks straight back in, trying to get that Anchor Smash off, maybe to help his team initiate, but no one comes in. He kind of dies, fish out of water there. CSO now going to take some poison, and Sunken comes in for the Fisher, the golden ticket back to the fountain for CSO, and the tower doesn't end up
Radiant
dropping.
lost the top tower.
Yeah, and taking a look at the Viper there. I mean, I think Viper is very good against Razor, and he's pretty good against the damage reduction as well, because he gets a lot of physical damage
Guess
just
what's
from Nether
happening
Toxin
to
with
that
people
bottom
being low, and
tower?
it doesn't matter what your base damage is. And he's also went 3 points in poison attack, seeing that the enemy team is, I mean, mostly
That
physical
bottom
right
tower's
now.
getting
Sure, there's
business.
some magic damage hidden in there,
Them
but
Gaia buildings
he
are
doesn't
tough as nails
prioritize
for
corrosive
now.
skin at all. He goes full throttle aggression, putting 3 points in poison attack,
Guess
which
what's
is not
happening
very
to
common
Dire's
these
bottom
days.
tower?
So a
Radiant's
lot of
top
pushes coming
tower's
out right
taking
now.
hits.
Bottom still being pushed in, trying to get the tier 1. The Courier might be in a little bit of trouble. Shibi ends up
The
ignoring
Dire
it, though.
best
He
do
sees
something
bigger
about that
targets in
bottom
mind.
tower.
He's got 3 for the Thunderclap, but he's not going to find him just yet. Now he goes in. No blink available on him. I didn't realize that. He actually pops his Primal Split, and A-Heart getting blocked up, not really finds his way through, but the Primal Split comes through the rock to stun him
Dire's
up.
mid tower won't last
And,
much
well,
longer.
he is 1, 2, 3 dead. That is going to be another kill for Flipside to make it
Radiant's
4-0
top tower's
at
in
5.5
bad shape.
minutes. Meanwhile, they're still doing a heavy push up top, and this tower, well, this tower isn't long for this world.
How exactly should be 5-0 on
Dive
Brewmaster? What was that garbage?
Technical
Like,
difficulty.
he could have got Razor as well. Like, the Earth Panda and the Fire Panda were content. They would have killed the Shadow Shaman. He should have chased down the Razor, thrown up a
Dive's
tornado,
mid-tower
and maybe got
needs a
another
little
boulder
help.
out after the
Dude,
death.
look at you.
But he
Pro
buys
player,
some
man.
space, I guess. They probably wouldn't have killed the Razor anyways. I think the only other person down there was Earthshaker, so I don't know.
It could have potentially happened. I don't know.
Could have
I
been
mean,
flashier, definitely.
Yeah, flashy plays. Shibby, though, I think it's just a momentum-based thing. Like,
Take that
early
Shibby.
game,
I'm
it
flaming you.
really is micro-intensive to do kind of stuff like that, to find that extra mile. And, you know, you expect a lot of that kind of thing, but at the same time, you know, it's not too bad if they don't go that extra mile, as long as they continue pushing their momentum. And getting a solo kill right there is definitely keeping some momentum rolling, and that is exactly what they want to do right now. As Alex, he's going to walk away from this one Sunken, looking for the Fisher, spots out the Courier and Glacius here, pulling up these this small camp, and he's actually going to get Grave Shield. Glacius getting ready for that one. They see a Plasma Field to fly out, but so far just chips and little bits of damage going either way, but nothing too substantial just yet.
Chips ahoy. I guess that's kind of product placement, but whatever.
I don't know.
No mana on the Razor right now, so he's not going to be able to do too much of this team fight, but there's 4 people down here.
Yep.
And only 2 on the side of Flipside, who have yet to give up a death. They've got 4 kills out ahead early on in this game, 7 minutes. They're 3,000 gold ahead, only 500 XP, but they're feeling pretty good at 7 minutes. The Tide Hunter, he's got his Arcane Boots, he's got his bottle as well. He was in the mid lane, so he picks up a bottle. Took his 1 death as he went to defend his off-lane tower, but not yet up to the Blink
mid-tower's
Dagger.
coming apart.
And looking at Brewmaster as well, again, not up to... Actually, something's coming on the Courier. Yeah, it's a naked Blink. He just goes brown boots, which is, again, pretty common.
The drill.
Yeah, but that blink is going to help him
Radiant's
get those
mid-tower's
thunderclap
getting
initiations that he's
banged
been
up.
looking for, and he finally gets his primal split
Primal
back off
sub.
cooldown. He's going down
Dive's
towards the
top
bottom
tower's
lane
getting beat down.
with 3 or 4 heroes grouped up and in prime position to get clapped. It looks like the fight should be coming out soon. Sunken gonna deny the tower with his enchant totem, and then in comes Brewmaster, claps out into A-Heart, and will commit all 3 to this kill. Throws up the Tide Hunter to go into the air with the Cyclone. Glassie's gonna run, but cannot hide. That poison damage slowing him down just a little bit. It looks like Brewmaster still occupied in the back lines. Jakiro will end up dropping. Nusham gonna fall on that one. Shredder takes some damage from the Soul Assumption, but it will be a Thunderclap to clean up Glacius. Now Shibby going on to Alex, but Shredder will fall. Alex, an enchant totem goes out into him, but now you see the gush. Sunken trying to run away. A-Heart comes back in, Ether Shock to fly, and that will be the kill on the Sunken fan of Soyan, as well as A-Heart grabbing that extra kill, and A-Heart making the rounds. Die at the beginning, came back at the end.
Radiant's mid tower ain't
A bit
doing
better
so
for Ban
good.
Earth. I mean, overall, it goes 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Ban Earth obviously was the team that was behind going into that, so that the fact that they trade even and actually get a bit more out of it because they took down the top tier 1 tower. So Safe Lane Tower is down for Flipside CSO, gets it, and he also last hit it. So this Morano's going to start coming along here. He finishes up his drums and looking around for his phase boots. Actually hasn't chosen his next form of boots. Just going to go with the drums for now, looking to tank up. And the fact that he goes drums first would lead me to believe he wants to go for the phase.
Potentially. I mean, phase is always a decent option to pick up if he wants to go for that one, but, I mean, options are either way. Phase or treads both work out pretty well. I mean, personally, I'm a fan of the treads over the phase, but to each his own, and for this Mirana build, phase drums is a decent way to go.
Yeah, some not so squishy heroes. I mean, Jenkins is obviously always going to be, food if he gets caught out, but that's pretty much Nature's Prophet's life. Brewmaster, though, going to be really hard to bring down until
Sunken
anyone
taking
on
a
the
long
other team.
arrow in the mid lane. That is a Sing arrow coming out. Alex will end up taking an Echo Slam, but the Echo Slam and the Enchant Totem,
Questionable.
not enough. In fact, losing a lot of damage from the static link. And yeah, throwing out the Echo Slam seemed like a bit of a last-ditch effort, and it didn't really help him out at all. So he ends up
Yeah, I
dropping in the
mean,
mid lane.
I guess the idea, obviously he wasn't going to get a lot of echo damage out of it. There was like
Radiant's
a
bottom
creep
tower ain't a
and
pretty
Razor. I
sight
think he was
right
trying to
now.
go for like the permastun, but at the end of it didn't have enough mana for the Fisher.
Radiant's
Or maybe it was already on
toughened up their
cooldown, but
structures.
Razor was taking tower hits, but meanwhile, Flipside, they mobilize in the bottom lane. Jenkins is here at the trees. Shakira with
Shibby
the
taking
fire.
a long arrow at the top tier 2 tower. He can end up dropping here. He does have Primal Split, and he will get it off. Just barely. Now he's going to go in and clean up the tower. Throws up the Razor. But he's dealing 147 damage. Can he catch up, though, to get the kill here? It'll wear off by the time the Brewmaster comes out. And, yeah, he's way too far away anyway. Meanwhile, the bottom tier 1 actually fell, and the trifecta, Nusham, Shredder, and Jenkins, making their way down towards the tier 2. Fan of Soyan will get spotted by Jenkins, comes right on in, has his Ravage ready to go throughout the anchor smash onto Nusham. Ravage catches 3. The wards are down. Ahart looking for an extra bit of kill. It will go on to Nusham, and the last bits of auto attack will be enough. Shredder will get shackled up, and then the Soul Assumption flies out. Glacius target that one, and now Gush, out into Shredder. Can they clean him up? It looks like he's going to turn around, try to clean up Ahart, but with the Anchor Smash should be enough. No, turns around, gets one Nether Toxic Strike off onto Shredder, onto Fan of Soyan, not Fan of Soyan, Shadow Shaman, Ahart.
Somebody
and that'll
died.
be the kill. Yeah, someone dies, someone lives. Tomato, tomato.
That's the power of
potato,
Nether
potato.
Toxin, man. Oh, you're at a quarter health? You're dead.
Oh, I'm losing all of my damage? You're still dead.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a dangerous combination. So Viper gets one before he goes down. He's level 8, so I think he got the XP from that kill, but not a big deal. Pointing out the levels here, though, Tidehunter up to level 11, starting in the mid lane, and, well, having a really good time. Brewmaster's rotated around a bit. The Tide really hasn't, except to use his Ravage a couple times, and he's done that effectively. He's 2-1-3 involved in 5 of the 6 kills. So Flipside, ahead about 5,000 gold, maybe 4,000 after that, but Ban Earth now starting to pull far ahead in XP, 3,000 maybe even ahead in XP, and they're behind in kills, so it's basically all just on the Tidehunter. The fact that he is 2 levels ahead of anybody else.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, and, you know, a Tidehunter level up pretty far can end up doing a ton of work into the mid to late game.
Roshan.
Yeah, they're going to try to snipe out a quick Roshan here, and they should get it if no Earthspirit don't contest, but I think Alex is making his way down there. Their Ravage is out for another 54 seconds, so a successful defense may not be possible, but they're going to throw the arrow out. It will hit onto trees, and now Alex comes in, throws out the Plasma Field, will steal up some damage from Nusham, but it won't be too substantial. Gets 4-stabbed out of the trees. Now Jenkins gushed up, but Fan of Soyan not having enough. He's going to go on to Shredder. Primal Split will fly, and all 4 heroes, all 5 heroes caught in the midst of this one. The damage over time from the Fire Panda sinking in, but it looks like Ahart should be able to walk away from this one, at least with a half HP. In comes Mirana to clean up Nusham, and now the Panda way out of position here. He's going to transform right in the middle of the Fan of Earthspirit's lineup. Now it's going to be the Wrath of Nature to pop through, finds a double kill. Actually, Jenkins getting 1, but doing enough damage to the rest to be more than substantial. Jenkins TP's on in and cleans up Fan of Soya. Now a Soul Assumption will fly out. Jenkins finally taking a fall. Glacius, though, the damage is real.
Oh,
and
no,
auto
Razor.
attacks. And Razor could be in a lot of trouble here. Shredder just way too fast. He's catching up, and it looks like Alex going to try a TP, but should not get it. He won't. Triple kill going the way of Shredder, and a team wipe ultimately is the result.
Yeah, and that's the power of Viper staying alive in your fight. He's finished up his mechanism. He's got his own point booster, and I'm assuming the mech's already come off cooldown, or maybe it was delivered mid-fight. I don't know. Hopefully he used it on his teammates, because they all died. Jenkins, you know, he goes pretty suicidal. He knew what was happening. I think he just wanted to get vision up on the hill and everything. Got 1 kill for his troubles. He's 205. Treads Bass and that Necronomicon level 1 for Jenkins on the Nature's Prophet as he looks to get the split push started, because, you know, fighting, they can win the fights, and they just did by 1 hero surviving. But obviously looking to use their strengths and split push. Other big items coming up. We got the Blink on Shibby. We have a Blink on Sunken here on the Earthshaker. Probably the biggest item pickup to note in this game. A defensive 4-staff here for Goody's Tidehunter. Kind of an interesting choice. The Mac, obviously Razor picked that one up for their squad. That's on Alex. Medallion on the Visage, as you might expect. Trying to maybe sneak a Roche when they can. Obviously, Flipside has already been thinking about doing Roche. Did not work out for them. Well, the Roche didn't work out, but the ensuing teamfight did. Moonlight Shadow, though, taking them into battle.
Yeah. I think Shibby just barely catching note of that one. Maybe not, as he's rather unaware of what's going on. Now he's getting arrowed and Gush. Primal split out for 20 seconds. They spot the Ravage. Was it worth it? You know, probably. They get a kill on him. Easy as pie. And now that he's down and out for the count, Shredder and Sunken are the next targets. We'll see if they want to make a go onto this one or just let it be. They're just going to group up. That's Ban Earth in the mid lane right now. All 5 hanging around close by. and ready to make it go whenever possible. The arrow flies through, but Sunken will dodge that one, whether by his own skill or inadvertently. The Fisher will go out. Fanasoyan, though, gets caught up by a Viper Strike. Force staffed right back out of there, baiting out the Viper Strike because he Grave Chill. Out onto Shredder. Shredder taking a lot of damage, pops his mech, but will it be enough? The Familiars trying to deal the damage that they need to do, but they end up losing a lot of it. Now the wards get dropped right in front of the tier 1 tower. Nushan up close and personal trying to clean those up. Shibby comes in with a primal split ready to go. Hasted up, blinks in, claps onto Ahart, force stabbed away, will still get his TP off, but Alex, he's not in as lucky a position here. Now he's going to try to run, and it looks like the Earth Panda okay. It's just kind of chilling right now, and the rest of the Pandas throwing Alex up in the air, but without the Earth Panda close by, he can't get the stun off, and Alex will just walk away from this one.
Yeah, his team looks like they were either stuck with the Serpent Wards or maybe even the Serpent Wards and a bit of a creep wave. Could have come up and joined Chibi, so he gets a little overzealous. Again, the Earth Panda was questionable. I don't know what he's
CSO is in a little bit of trouble here. He'll get Fissured and Ice Path.
This combo's dirty.
Yeah, that's the ultimate in long-range stuns. The Fisher, really difficult to miss. Now, the Ice Path is a lot more difficult, but, I mean, if you're landing it on the back of a Fisher, it should be fine. And now they're going to go for the Roche again. This time, I don't think no Earthspirit are in any position to contest, and it should go down. Now, it is rather slow, but to get everyone down here on no Earthspirit, they need to TP in, and I don't think they're willing to commit that much, even if they did know it was there.
Yeah, and the poison attack here from Shredder, it makes doing Rush pretty easy. Also, the Treants to go ahead and tank everything up. So, not going to be contested. Did they even know about it? It's not even getting pinged out by anybody. You've got the birds. Yeah, okay, they not scouting it out. But Aegis is going to go over to Shredder. And, well, Shredder, obviously the team fights have been very, very close. I don't know if the Blink Dagger's even been revealed here by Sunken. They've obviously know it's there because they've scouted it out. Or they've clicked on him and looked at his inventory on the side of Ban Earth. But looking for a good echo into one of these team fights, or maybe Viper's already fallen or is still barely alive, and they get to use that Aegis. It should be a pretty easy team fight win for Flipside here.
Oh yeah,
even with the
Echo is
Ravage
enough
up.
to turn any team fight. Earthshaker is an incredible team fight
Someone's
controller.
dropped out like a kid in
With
school.
that Blink Dagger getting picked up, and now
Up top, Jenkins.
you know, he actually could arrow connected,
Yeah, it's
but
fine.
not enough time. He puts himself in the trees. Yeah, he's perfectly all right for the time being. Gets himself away, and that's CSO not grabbing the kill there. But it looks like other stuff might be happening as 4 heroes grouped up for Flipside in the bottom lane. No hero around for them to be aggressive on. It looks like they're just committing this all
Towers,
to a
though.
push. Yeah, tier 2 tower, the only thing standing in their way between them and the tier 3. But they haven't really... I don't know if they're just wasting time pushing all 4 in this lane, as their top lane is also being pushed in by CSO, so it's not like they're not going to get a trade-off on this one. And Ahart and Alex both sitting in the middle lane pushing out these trees.
Oh, good.
We'll have to see. Are they going to end up going and defending their
Radiant's
bottom tier 2?
bottom
The
tower's seen
Liquid
better
Fire will
days.
fly out. Does some pretty decent damage onto this tier 2 tower, and yeah, this should end up just dropping to the Liquid
Jenkins
Fire
in
alone.
middle.
We take a look though,
Trouble
Jenkins
brewing at Radiant's
trying to get his way
bottom
out of there.
tower.
Can they get the bird stun? They will get the bird
Dire's
stun.
top tower.
One slap
You know the drill.
from the
There
Fanasoyan
goes
will end up
Radiant's
cleaning
bottom
him
tower.
up. The bottom tier 2 drops in the meantime, and the rest
Dire's
will
top
leave
towers
that
Way
to
better,
disengage.
way better for Flipside. I mean, sure,
Yeah.
you kill a hero
Well,
and it's an
it
Aegis
goes
profit.
way to better right now, but it looks like an Echo goes out on it too. They're going to pop the Fisher, but the Ravage comes through. Sunken taking a lot of damage, won't survive it as he pops down the Enchant Totem, and it's not enough. So a 2 for a tower now.
That was a really good Fisher for Ban Earth. So wrong team there. It completely segregated the Viper. You could argue Viper, it gave him free passage to run away, but if Viper was there and able to get in those auto attacks, Viper Strike, as well as the mech, well then maybe they take that. I don't see them killing both. Both of those guys are going to be hard to kill. Obviously, Tidehunter can crack in your slow and still keep running. Razor's pretty fast. Unstable Current can mess with you. I think it triggers on Poison Attack, but maybe not actually. I think if you Q and then left click, it'll trigger, but if you have your Q on autocast, it's not going to trigger Unstable Current. I'm unsure, actually.
I don't think any orbs do Unstable Current. I'm pretty sure it's only targeted spells.
Yeah, it's point target, but that's what I'm saying. If you Q left click, do you think
No,
it maybe would?
I don't think it does.
Alright. Well, Viper Strike, of course.
I'm willing to
will.
put my word on that one. CSO will get Ice Path up in the top lane, but bounces himself away. Slippery Mirana that she is, and he'll just be fine for the time being.
Got
Now,
that CS.
yeah, 4 heroes are grouped up now. They're looking to try to catch him off, and he just makes his way into the trees now. He's got a TP scroll ready, but I think he's just playing with his luck a little bit. They're going to go ahead and try to guess where he is. Now, if he had leaped from the position he's in, he may have been close to that, but rather he's staying up in the trees, making HYHY proud. For those of you who still understand that reference, that is a really...
Still a reference.
Still a reference? Okay, good. So I'm not losing touch. That's good.
I made it yesterday, so
all right.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it today. Yeah, Mirana, she's still there, but she doesn't get the intel on the fact that they smoked up. Brewmaster wasn't in it, so maybe they're trying to use him as bait. There's no wards scouting him out, so he can't really be baiting anything right now anyways. So he'll get... Here's one in the middle lane for the Radiant across the way. Also on their T here, what I like to call the T anyways, inside the jungle. Just, you know, being kind of defensive, looking for any rotations into their territory.
Yep, and defensive wards are all they can hope for right now. I mean, they are on the losing end of the spectrum right now. I don't think they're in any position of control.
XP,
they don't have a lot
though,
of
is
map
about
control.
it.
Yeah, XP can maintain even, but I mean, they're maintaining even on XP with a ton of big ultimates, so that's at least the best you could hope for right now. As the tier 2 mid
Radiant's
takes a
mid tower could
Necronomicon
use
as
a
well as
hand.
plenty of trees. This should not be alive for too much longer. It will drop.
Radiant's mid
And
tower's
there
getting
is no
what
answer
for.
to it from the side of Flipside, or from the side of no Earthspirit. They're just going to let that one drop.
All right, what's the stat, Fridge Master? All outer towers before, I guess, 25 minutes? It's something like 80% even win rate, or was it? Maybe it was before 20, it was 80%. Either way, Flipside, they've got themselves a pretty good chance this game just looking at statistics. And honestly, their team is very strong. They don't have that ultra late carry. I mean, Nature's Prophet's pretty good, but not in the sense of standing there and fighting. He can be, but not for a long while yet. He's still very scary for the split pushing, of course, but the double Ravage for Goody here on the Tidehunter should be coming out somewhat soon. He actually already has the recipe in his stash. So very, very soon the double Ravage will be online, and
that's what 12
Van Earth can
gold
start
away.
turning things around at that point.
Yeah, that double Ravage is
what
going
does
to
he
be
need?
huge. But
Yeah, the Oblivion stuff.
I mean, the problem with the
That's
double
cheap.
Ravage is that well, first of all, does he have the mana for it? I guess would be an initial question.
Yeah,
And,
900 plus 2 uses of mana boots should be good.
well, I'm talking about when he hits his level 16. And then the second question,
True.
I imagine, would be, can you actually use it to win a team fight, or is it not going to be useful? I mean, I've all too often, I'll explain myself a little bit. I all too often see that refresher coming out and it not being used to a winning extent, just getting thrown out. I mean, they need to actually take a great fight with that, and we'll see if they can do it, as he's going to farm up the Ancients here, give himself a nice boost in GPM. It does get warded, so he's not going to be able to stack that one up. You already saw that he tried, wasting a little bit of time with that ward. I think they're going to go ahead and deny that one out, or at least they should soon if they had no
Dire's
idea it's
top
there. You
tower,
can already see Glacius
you know the drill.
trying to find it. Already puts down a sentry ward up close to the Ancients, but it looks like he's going to TP down because the bottom tier 3 is taking way too much damage, and it looks like he was spot on with that one. So
Literally the
grabbing
best.
the 200 gold bounty from the ranged
Dire's top tower's
Necronomicon
getting
creeping.
beat down.
It's just a slow siege at this point. You see that the tier 3 tower taking about an eighth of its damage right now. I even go so far to say a fifth of its damage. And, you know, if they keep doing stuff like that, it will eventually fall and you will get access to the racks. So, I mean, looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, good that they can get the damage there. I mean, any damage will go a long way against
What's with
Nature's
all the
Prophet,
script?
especially once the towers fall. You got to bear racks against Nature's Prophet. It's not a game you want to be in. Gonna spot the Haster Sunken. He will go ahead and pick that up in the bottom. And
They
yeah, let's
do
see.
end up
Goody,
dewarding the
Goody's
Ancients here,
farming.
so.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious, right? Like, you know it's there. I
Yep.
see a lot of people nestle it all the way back here.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of people don't know where the
that was
box
his
is.
original
I'm not going to lie, I don't either. I'd assume it's somewhere there. So you're kind of hesitant to drop the sentry anywhere close to it, and sometimes you will miss it. But obviously you get no vision from that.
If I
kind of just
remember
looking at the
correctly,
camp.
this stone right here marks
Yeah, I was
one
about to
of the
say,
edges of the box.
that stone seems reasonable.
I would think it's something like this.
What about this little guy here?
What little guy?
Maybe that. Because this ward blocks it. If you put a ward here and you get rune vision and block the ancients, which is where they put it.
I don't know. I really don't know. I need to go ahead and check those again. Whenever I'm playing support, in games, I always bring up the ward boxes.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Just to be able to know where they're gonna, like, it's 99% of the time I get the observer or the blocking ward, just because you know where the spawn box is, so you know all the possible positions that they could probably put it. And then you just take the most efficient one to put the sentry. So it looks like while I'm talking about that, yeah, the refresher's up and they're ready to go, but the observer ward spotting out this rotation. The arrow will miss. And out comes Sunken, puts down the Fisher, blocks off Alex. Now they got a Moonlight Shadow. Do they have the vision to keep him alive here? They will pop out the Sentry Ward, but will it be too late? Refreshers, Ravage does come out. Nusham will die immediately. Sunken trying to run away with a haste shoot. He should be able to do so, but 3 down already. With the Brewmaster on top of that, that really puts a hurt on this team fight. He doesn't have buyback either, so Shredder goes out with a Viper Strike out into Glacius, but he's going to end up having to turn tail and run as the Soul Assumption comes through. And the Tier 2 tower does just end up dropping 20 seconds before you really have to worry about Flipside's lineup, and they're going to back off, not really pushing their advantage too much here, and a pretty nice team fight off the back of that Refresher's Ravage.
Yeah, but it wasn't for nothing. The Tier 3 tower in the top lane here for Ban Earth takes most of its life. It gets pretty damaged up by the Necro 3 by the Treants. So Nature's Prophet, of course, wasn't really in that fight. Maybe he ulted for it. I don't know. Did not work out. So that was the unveiling of the Refresher. That's probably, they're not going to let that happen again on the side of Flipside. It was also a smoke used. And it was a great team fight for Ban Earth. But they know every time they put 5 heroes like that, this tower is going down the next time that happens. Maybe even the ranged racks.
Yeah, and you know, I think the ultimate mitigating factor that probably could have been a 4-0, or if the Nature's Prophet had been there away, but this ward right here, this Observer ward, saved them a ton of trouble.
Right on top of them.
So that's going to help them out a little bit, but the Roshan, dire advantage going the way of, well, the Dire. Big surprise there, as the Roshan will take a lot of damage here. And, I mean, it's relatively slow again. They don't have the fastest Roshan lineup. However, it's going to go down in enough time for to not give no Earthspirit any chance to react to this. And, I mean, getting a free Roche like this, as well as it looked like a couple of free familiars.
One, too.
Yep, and they're going to go ahead and smoke up immediately outside of this Roche and make their way towards the mid lane. Nature's Prophet, as I said, grabbing a BKB, Sunken, making his way down, spotting out with the Treants, and who are they going to find? It looks like Alex could be the target. This could be trouble. If he gets caught, he will get caught. They're going to throw out the Enchant Totem. No, they're going to throw out the Fisher instead. Now they have the Ice Path to fly through. Viper Strike comes in. No Force Staff to save him. And a Primal Split, well, that's just icing on the cake right now. That means Primal Split's down. Buyback is out onto Alex here. And, well, I mean, the Primal Split gets used. Is this an opportunity for Ban Earthspirit?
I mean, they have the buyback. They can definitely turn this around. The Primal Split now just running out. They get some damage onto the tower here.
Ravage.
I think they just want to try to siege, throw out as many liquid fires as possible here from Jakiro. I mean, it literally only takes like 4 liquid fires to kill a tower.
Fan of Soyan. He puts the ping out. He's ready to go on this one. This is a group up from it. He's going to throw out the first one. Now they're going to refresh up. The double Ravage coming through. Only catch a 3. Sunken is ending up running away from that one, but they still kill 2 up immediately. Shredder getting shackled. He will drop the first time. Now A-Heart going to have to back out, but he could end up dying still. The Echo Slam to secure that one. And CSO will drop as well. Flan of Soyan going to force himself back up onto the cliff. Glacius might not be so lucky. Shredder popping his BKB on that one. CSO will buy back, and the Familiars making their way on back in. That was the best double Ravage I think they could have had in the situation, except Sunken blinked himself out the last second. So really good reaction time coming out from him. And now Sunken coming right back in, throwing out the Fisher. Will not catch anyone. Alex making his way out with the Plasma Field. Shredder going to maintain a little bit of an aggressive position, but backs himself off almost immediately. And the defense is real. They keep their tower up, and nothing else said and done. That was, what, 2 for 2 or 3 for 3?
Yeah, buyback on the Mirana, though. But the good thing is here, Alex, he's got 3,000 gold. Did not have to buy back. And, well, we'll have to see what he wants to go for. Yesterday and the day before that, casting over in the Game Show League, Razor was picking up a lot of ACs. Even before the AG, so we could see maybe an AC next, and I don't even think I saw maybe 1 Refresher Razor in like a whole of maybe, I think, 16 games over the weekend. And Razor,
I mean, I used to think it was the most OP thing.
It's pretty nice.
One of the things that I think people fail to realize is that if you go Refresher AGs almost immediately, you're still, what, something like an
Fairly
1800?
squishy.
Yeah, you're the squishiest hero on the map
19
right now.
armor, 2,000 HP about. It's not bad, and he's going to get more stats out of the.
Well,
the
you
other
imagine
thing.
what you need to do with that refresher. You need to get right up close and personal with the enemy, and if they've got lockdowns, thunderclouds,
My storm range is pretty good. It's bigger than
not
your auto
great
attack.
though. And if you're going up on the high ground with it too, like you just take way too much damage too fast. And I don't know. I think the AC is a really great thing because it accomplishes pretty much the same thing. It minuses the armor and by a pretty good amount, and
Yeah, that's true.
like a couple of seconds of thunder strikes hitting you. So, I mean, it's still a pretty good item, and he might just go for a refresher right now. Instead, picks up a BKB. Meanwhile, Glassy is going to throw up the Rachel, and did he actually throw it out? I don't know. Gets Viper Striked up, and in comes the Primal Split, but it's not really doing too much as the Moonlight Shadow comes through. Now, it looks like Phantom Soyan. Does he have his Ravage up? It will be up in 15 seconds for the double Ravage. Nusham taking an arrow. Now an Echo Slam comes out. Alex and Glacius. Now they're going to go try to run away from this one as Sunken takes a little bit of damage. CSO trying to secure this one, and in comes the Ravage. Will catch Sunken on the back end. Now does he have a refresher? He doesn't end up popping it just yet. Jenkins going to pop his BKB, try to get himself out of there. Will end up getting himself out of there. Shibby, will he get it? No, he will not. The Soul Assumption comes through, and Glacius will find himself a killing spree to make it a 3-0. The tier 3 tower goes down, but aside from that, I don't think really they had any other selling point to that team fight.
No, after the double Ravages come out, Flipside, I mean, they can't. I think they've won one team fight since there in the middle lane when they forced the buyback, but even that was still fairly even. It's hard to fight into, and without a really, really big Echo Slam and Fisher follow-up, they can't really do it. Maybe Primal Split. Primal Splits so far this game have been fairly underwhelming. There is an Ags on the Brewmaster now, so he's got the potential to, Drunken Haze a couple people, actually 2 people, get a Thunderclap, 2 Thunderclaps, obviously everything else that comes with your ultimate, but it's just not
still has
happening.
another Ravage. They have to be really careful about this one. It looks like we got Nature's Prophet. He's split pushing up on the top lane. Shredder is hanging up close behind. CSO going to walk right into him and immediately teleport. But, yeah, you're not going to teleport out of this one. He does go down. No buyback, as you say. Now with Nature's Prophet Jenkins, he's being a slippery little fella. He makes his way straight on into the racks, and Ahart going to just hex up a Necronomicon here, but he has no way to clean these one up just yet. He's alone right now, and this racks, it's just going to fall. There's no way to keep this one up. No glyph, nothing. Yeah, it's just going to drop.
The Radiant's
Alex dropping fairly low because of that last will, and well, he won't go down, but in comes the massive push now. Flip side, they're going to go off on the back of this one. Still 40 seconds out on the Mirana. CSO really wishing she could be here for this team fight, but will not be there. Now Sunken, Shibby, and Shredder make their way into the racks, and they're just going to go ahead, slap and chop. And we'll see
there is a
what
Ravage
initiation comes
available
through.
if he uses Refresh. The Refresher is cooled down, Ravage is not yet, only 30 seconds, so obviously would not be the most efficient use of the Watermelon by the Watermelon, but he might do what he has to do here as the Rax has completely fallen in the top lane, and now the tower Primal Split goes out here onto the Brewmaster. He's going to throw up the Tidehunter and go ahead and run out of there. Are they going to look to disengage this? Echo Slam is still online. The tower getting very, very low, now put into deny range by that Liquid Fire, bringing it down to 98, and yeah, Primal Split to disengage, but they got the whole lane of Rax. You have a Nature's Prophet, and you're feeling pretty good about your chances right now.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, there's been a lot of soft turning points in this game, and I think that was one of them. I wouldn't say Ban Earthspirit have really lost this game so far, especially not losing a single Rax, but it's just, it doesn't seem too good right now for them. Shibby, he's walking right up next to Alex. Has an Invis rune ready to go, and I think they know exactly what's going on, that long fade time. And he's just going to walk the long way home. Meanwhile, the rest of No Earthspirit are pushing down the mid lane. If they commit too hard to this one, there's still a Nature's Prophet, and up, here he goes, the Rat at work. Out into the bottom tier 3 tower, and yeah, the tier 3 just going to fall here. They don't have any way to keep this one up. Glacius makes his way in, but what can Glacius do against this one? In fact, he actually could end up dropping here. Throws out a Soul Assumption on the Jenkins, who turns around for a short amount of time, but while he's chasing, the melee or the ranged Rax is taking way too much damage. Meanwhile, on the other side of the spectrum, we've got Alex with the Eye of the Storm going to town on this tier 3 tower. Will try to take a ranged Rax of his own, and will do so successfully for the time being. No, an Echo Slam comes out, catches 2, in comes Oyan with Ravage #1. Got his refreshers up and ready to go, going to wait out the BKBs. just keeping them alive for a short amount of time, but the Ravage is ready to go. As soon as the BKBs come off, they do come off, and Shredder and Jenkins taking that one. A buyback onto everyone. They're all back in this fight. Now Alex should end up taking a fall here. Fan of Soyan might drop as well. Shibby going to be the one to slap and chop that one to bits. And the 3 familiars going down. Sunken will assign the death warrant for one of them, 2 of
No
them,
gold, though.
3 of them. And they will drop, and the ranged racks goes down at the cost of almost all the HP on their own ranged racks, but actually it was no, it wasn't melee racks. Okay, so it was the ranged racks. Roshan back up in about 20 seconds, and well, I think that was much better for Flipside. They
Yeah,
spent a
I mean,
lot
I'd
of
still,
buybacks,
I'd
but-
still feel pretty comfortable if I was Flipside. I think I'd rather be on that team right now if I were in this game. You're down 3 kills right now, but you've got 1 complete lane of racks. You've only lost your range, and everything is exposed right now. No tier 3 tower in the middle lane, no tier 3 tower in the bottom lane. But they must be careful. They did just use 3 buybacks. They'll get 1 extra buyback here on the Tidehunter. No Ravage.
Yeah, no Ravage for
literally
80.
identical cooldowns there. 80 seconds on the Ravage, and of course the refreshers. So it's looking pretty good for them. Primal Split is online, and I think they could just go ahead, clean up the racks, get the Mega Creeps, and then go back home and just,
Well, can they
defend the
do
next
so?
onslaught.
Ahart goes in and hexes up Shibby. In comes Sunken, throws out a Fisher, catches on 3. Fan and Soyan feeling relatively useless right now. The wards get dropped. Ahart gonna throw out his last will and testament on that one. Alex looking to try to do enough damage. Eye of the Storm goes out, but the Panda is just absorbing all that damage. Bottom racks falls. Jenkins will sign the death warrant for that one. And in fact, the fight just moves completely to the bottom lane. Alex will drop to Shibby here. No buyback onto him, and no buyback really on anyone as Shredder trying to run away here. He should end up dropping Soul Assumption. Instead goes out to Sunken. No buyback on him. Shredder could end up dropping. 1 more attack needs to fly through. They get the Soul Assumption and the Gush off. And 4 down without buyback. Can this arrow? Will this arrow? Will it? No, it won't. Oh, no. One
What?
could only dream. I thought the arrow could have hit.
Don't think it goes that far, huh? Look at this guy! Look at this hero creep! MVP creep!
What is this? Wait, how did it get there?
I don't know. It must have been the lone survivor. I don't even
he's
know.
gonna
But
drop.
the ranged will go ahead and clean him up. Obviously, he did a little bit, but that'll regen quickly. So,
Yep.
there's no response. Flip side, they lose everybody. They get their buyback timers out of the way, so that's actually really good on them. They're not going to be able to mobilize unless out of Ban Earth. They can't get across the map. I mean, sure, they have that 1 rogue creep in the base, but Equilibrium at the middle lane right now with this creep. Bottom, all the way pushing into their base, and top, well, really pushing into their base. So they're not going to be able to get out on the map and do anything. I mean, they can't even go for the next Roshan here. They know that it's up. They've got the triple familiar, the triple threat, the 6th man, whatever you want to call them. The Ags is there on Visage. Visage actually doing really good this game. 6-2-14, 60 CS. Isn't that worth even? He's in 3rd right now on the Visage. Nope, just kidding. Did not filter that correctly. 3rd for his team. He's in 6th. Yeah, 6th overall at 9.3k. So not bad. He's got more than the Marana. But here you go. I mean,
So-
you're pushed back. Trance into the Roche, and Flipside going to go for the Roche. Aegis Cheese, and with that, there's no doubt. But double refresher. Triple the watermelons over on the side of Ban Earth.
I still don't see the watermelon. I'm sorry, but
What do you
All
mean?
right. so
Refresh-
let's
I'm
think
tired.
about this for a second. If they
You are-
go for an all-in push right now onto Ban Earthspirit's base, can Ban Earthspirit preserve themselves from the mega creeps?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if they want to take a fight in their base. They have to take it outside their base. And Roshan, that might have been the ultimate place to take it, being so grouped up for that Ravage, but they end up giving away the free Roche. Viper, Shredder will grab that one, and an arrow looks to go right underneath
Yeah.
Viper.
Did it
looks
just
like.
run out? I think it was like max range.
I
Here's the
don't know.
melee
Either
shadow
way-
though, to initiate.
Yep. And they're going to go in. Shredder will be the target. They go
One
way
Ravage.
back. They grab 2 with the Ravage. Now a second Ravage comes through. Will catch both, and that is an immediate death out onto Shibby. Shredder could also drop as well. Stays alive for the time being. Will drop the first Aegis. Will pop, and they're going to group around him to try to get another one, but the damage is being done. Jenkins, the rat that he is going all in, and I think this is all in for and Earthspirit, but can they do it? Everyone on Flipside's back up and running. Vanasoyan doesn't have Ravage for 2 minutes, and yep, they've got Mega Creeps. They have to go all in on this one. What can they do? They go straight for the GGs, and you know what? I don't think they can do it, but we'll have have to see them try. They drop the wards and going to focus them all on the tier 4s. In comes Sunken. Echo Slam up. Can he get it? Shibby instead will be the one to go in, and he's just going to try to buy time here. The tier 4 is taking a lot of damage, but they're almost already down on the side of the Radiant. CSO, he's just going to drop. No buyback onto him. Alex trying to get some epilepsy alert going on. It looks like he already popped it. He's not going to be able to do anything with this one, and he's still up in the air. The tier force has already dropped on the side of no Earthspirit's lineup, and now Alex drops down the Aegis. He's going to work. He's going to work. He could do it. He pops his BKB. Now onto the Ancient. Can he get it down and fast enough?
Can't do nothing about that.
The Ancient sitting on Radiant. It's going to survive for the time being. Alex, he could drop. Shredder, the Thunderclap will be enough to take him out. A buyback goes out onto the Visage, and the Ancient stands at a fairly large amount of HP, but unfortunately, no buybacks on Van Earthspirit, and Mega Creeps are pushing in. I think that's it.
Well, I figured this was going to be a pretty close game. I didn't expect it to end like that with the Besu Reisu. It's both tier 4s down on both teams, but it is still a Mega Creeps for Flipside, so it looks a lot better for them. I mean, there's no way Ban Earth can march across the map as 5 right now, or they will just lose immediately.
I think they're just going to lose right now.
Razor down 50. Yeah, I think they're just going to push forward with these 3 heroes that are alive right now. Boots of Travel on Shredder in 5 seconds, so he can get in there and get threat.
What the hell? Did he just get buyback? Well, it's not going to matter right now. He goes in with his Eye of the Storm, but Shibby going to BKB up, and he's just going to slap at the Ancient right now. Can they kill him? They're going to go all in on him. He's taking a lot of damage. He does end up going down, but the Ancient will still drop. You can get all the kills and all the damage you want, but as soon as that Ancient ticks at 0, the game is over. And unfortunately for No Earthspirit, they're on the receiving end of that one.